All right, welcome everyone. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for this masterclass because this is something that I have taught my athletes for a few years now, and it changes things, and it changes things in the best way. So if you are here, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to this party. It's gonna be a good time, and it is gonna shift things for you. So I'm pumped for that. Now, for those of you who don't know me, hi. It's so nice to meet you. My name is Janice. I've been working with athletes for the last couple of years, everyone from D1 to junior hockey to Paralympians. I have gotten to work with some incredible people who are pushing the limits of what's possible. And in order to do that, we have approached things differently. So, if you are here, chances are you're struggling with your head, or you've tried things like positive thinking, visualization, meditation, and it's not working for you. And if that's you, that is okay. Let me tell you, I started with meditation's not for me. What are you talking about? So if that's you, it's okay. You are not broken. There's nothing wrong. Chances are, though, if you're here, you'll make a mistake and you'll spiral and you'll struggle to get yourself back, or the pressure hits and then you freeze. And it's not that you don't know what to do typically, it's that you get pulled in multiple directions and you're just like, oh. So it's all right. Whatever's going on, I promise you, this program is going to help you. It's going to help you understand what's going on. It's going to help you take your power back. And I'm so excited for that because when an athlete steps back into their power, holy, does their game change. Yes, my door moves. I should probably full disclosure. I have two cats, and so sometimes they'll even pop up on the video, but they like to go into the back room and look out the window so they can stare at the squirrel. So if you see the door move, it's just because they're going in and out. But like I was saying, this is where the game changes. Like when an athlete steps back into their power, what's possible changes. And it feels easier and it feels more effortless. It feels more like a natural extension of who you are as a person and as an athlete. And that's what I want for you. That is genuinely everything I want for an athlete. I want you to feel like you can play free. I want you to be excited about the big moments and really feel empowered just being you, okay? I don't want you fighting yourself in any way. So, we are going to do that. This is a mindset program, but it's going to go so much deeper than that. It's going to go into your nervous system, it's going to go into your identity, and it's going to bring these pieces together because there's not a single part of us that just works in isolation, okay? So if you're like, I've been working with my mind, but your identity is like light years behind you, of course you're going to struggle. That's to be expected. We're going to get all the pieces kind of lined up and working together so you know where the work is that you need to do and you know what to do. You can move the needle. So this is going to be fun. The goal isn't to ever be perfect. I don't need you to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. The goal is to be able to roll with things and stay connected to yourself because one of the big phrases we say is like control the controllables in sports. And I both love and hate that phrase. Mostly because I think it's just it gives you that false sense that if you do this, it's going to work out. And it's like, no, you've got to be able to roll with the unexpected. You've got to be able to actually step into that unknown and lead well, confidently, and you can. So I want you to stay connected to yourself in those moments. You don't have to be perfect. We'll figure it out. It's a little messy as we're learning, and that's okay. Once you get this down, everything becomes so much easier. So I have notes as well because I know I'm going to forget something. I'm so pumped for this class. I've been excited to do this for so long. The only other piece of kind of housekeeping is wherever you are finding this, if you are watching the replays, if you are finding it on like an athletic sports performance platform, comment. Leave your comments, leave your questions, let me know how it goes. You can send me an email, whatever it is. I read this stuff. I love staying connected to you. And the more that you ask questions, the more you're going to get out of this. Or if you just love it, let me know because this is different. I don't see other sports performance or, elite inner game coaches doing any of this. So I'm super, super excited. And with that said, let's dive in, guys. So, what happens under pressure? Okay, let's say you are in the finals or you're in a tryout or you're in that, must-win game if you want to make the playoffs or you want to advance to the next round. What happens, right? Why does the mind spiral under pressure? Why do suddenly you lack the skill that you used to have? You lack the read that you used to have, right? The game feels different. And that's not anything to do actually with your mind. What's happening is your nervous system shifts states. Okay. So your mind is still getting the signals, but it's just reading differently because your nervous system has shifted from that expansive, I can play, this is fun, to holy crap, now the pressure's on. Now I feel tighter. And you feel the difference in that. You will feel maybe a little heavier, a little more rigid or restricted. You'll feel like your breath is maybe a bit shallower or your stomach's a bit tighter. So it's not even a mindset thing. You're not competing with your mind. Your nervous system changes state. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. If you're like, oh, yes, I felt that. The moment's different. The night before is different. You're laying awake at night being like, I really hope so. I really hope I can do this. I'm really nervous. They're really good. That is your nervous system. That's not your mind. Your mind is just reacting. Okay? And with that said, before we jump into the nervous system, there's one thing I want you to do. I want you to let me know, what is your relationship currently with your head and your mind? Do you feel, and be honest, because trust me, I've been there. Do you feel like your mind is out to get you? Does it feel like your worst enemy right now? If it does, that's okay. I'm going to break down the mind in this program in a way where you're going to see your mind as your absolute best friend. And I promise you that because I have walked through this. Okay. So, like, if you're like, oh my God, I spend so much time and energy just fighting my head, trying to not be in there, trying to like make it stop, we're going to change that by the end of this program. You're going to be like, holy crap, I never saw it this way. I didn't know how much my mind loves me. I didn't know how supportive it was trying to be. It's just doing the best it can. It has a limited skill set. Uh, but we're gonna walk through this and you're gonna suddenly realize like, oh my gosh, it's not out to get me. It loves me and it wants to support me. And I can say that because I've walked so many athletes through this. I walked myself through it first. I was I don't want to say riddled with anxiety, but my head was noisy. It was trying to get it right. It was trying to get it perfect. It was always constantly like scanning what's going on. What can I control? What do I do? Like it was a busy, busy place. I did not enjoy it. And I tried all the positive thinking, all the visualizations. It got overrun. It was like overgrowth of like a backyard that's not being kept. It was just a disaster of a place. And so I knew I had to do something differently. And that's how I came to help understand all the different elements that go into this. So if you feel the pressure, if you make a mistake, your mind isn't trying to get you, but what happens is your nervous system changes state. It goes from expansion and freedom into contraction and fear, and it is now looking for survival. So it is playing a very, very different games, right? We flicked a switch, we're in a different mode, and the response to that mode is look out for danger. So your mind is going to try and protect you, and I'm going to break down everything the mind does so we can get on top of it in a later module. But for right now, I want you to understand you are switching modes, okay? See if you can notice if the only thing you do after this call is notice when you switch gears. Notice when you switch to protection, survival, from thriving, freedom, this is fun, I'm enjoying this, right? And you guys know that feeling because you have the feeling of like expansive, things are going well. This feels fantastic. I love going out on the ice or the court or the track or the field or the pitch. Like you know the feeling. And then notice when you switch gears. Okay. So why you spiral is your nervous system changes. Okay. And then you go from being responsive into protection. We have a phrase for this in sports, and it is called, I know you've heard this, playing to win versus playing not to lose. You got to play to win. What does that mean? What does playing to win mean? It means you feel relaxed. It means you feel open. It means you're responsive and receptive, and you're moving with those impulses. You're moving with it. You're not reacting to it. You're not like, oh my gosh, defensive mode. I gotta protect, protect, protect. Playing not to lose is protection. I'm scared. I'm just trying to mitigate the damage. I'm just trying to stifle whatever's happening, right? I want to try and shut it down. That's not fully expanding your game. That's not playing at the maximum your game allows. When we change it, when our nervous system changes, what we see changes. Okay. So when our nervous system goes into protection mode, we start to scan for threats. We start to try and protect. What could go wrong? We're going to start to put up the baby gates. If I do this, it'll be okay. If they do that, I'm going to do that. I've got a plan. We know. We don't lose the best parts of our game. We just lose access to them. We lose connection to them. Okay. And beyond mindset, you can write this down. There's a performance cascade that we're going to kind of work through here. Your nervous system or your state's a very trendy word right now, starts with your identity. So identity's at the top. Then it's your state, your nervous system. Are you regulated? Are you not regulated? Are you in fight or flight? Are you in your parasympathetic safety, expansive rest and digest? You can play from there. And then it's perception. Then it's your impulses. Then it's your actions. Then it's the outcome. So identity's first. Who are you? Then it's our state, our nervous system regulation. If we flip into protection mode, chances are our identity changes or we temporarily forget it. Then it's perception. Okay, your mind is working in all of these. And the last three are impulse. Those are your instincts, right? That's what you want to stay connected to. That's your skill set, your action, and your outcome. Action's what you do in response to those impulses. And I can teach you every part of this cascade, what you're trusting at each point. But your mind, and you'll notice mindset's not actually in there as its own entity because your mind is responding to your identity and your nervous system. And it's going to change your perception, right? What the mind sees, what you see is a result of that nervous system. So how many of you are noticing like, oh yeah, no, there's a change in my nervous system and then my mind starts to attack me. Or perhaps you're an athlete who's perpetually in a protection mode. You don't feel safe to go all out. You don't feel safe to make the play. You feel like you're going to mess it up or make a mistake or what if, what if, what if, what if. You're trying to protect yourself from the coach coming down on you, from letting your teammates down, um, from losing. That all ties back to your identity. Who are you? Who do you have the capacity to be? Because if you want to be one of the greatest tennis players, one of the greatest golfers, one of the greatest hockey players, you have to have the capacity for that. You have to be able to hold the wins and the losses. You have to be able to hold the success and the failures. But if you're afraid of that, your nervous system's going to be tight. What's going to happen if I actually do make it? What's going to happen if and when? What if I get it and I lose it? There are hundreds of reasons your nervous system might be active when you're an athlete. There's so much going on, and that's okay because you can handle this. You are here, you are learning, you're educating yourself about this, which means you're ready to make that change. You're ready to understand it. You're ready to take your power back. And I love that. I love that for you. I love that for what it means for your game. That's what sports is intended to be, but you have to be the person. So you have to notice when your identity, or sorry, notice when your nervous system switches gears. Or perhaps it's always in protection, right? We want to get to safety. I feel safe to make the play. I feel safe too. And you'll notice when your nervous system changes, you could be having the best game ever, but if you get down, then it's like, oh, it feels heavy. Oh, suddenly all the time I used to have is gone. The pressure's on, right? Suddenly you don't see the two open teammates. You don't see the perfect pass. It's not that those things aren't there, you just don't see them. So notice when your nervous system is there. Notice when it flips into protection or if it stays in protection, because chances are that's where you start overthinking. That's where you start to hesitate. That's where you get hypervigilant. You're constantly scanning. If you can notice when it switches or if you're there, you want to spend the next couple of days learning to regulate. Okay. The best practice I can give you, the best I can suggest, there's like 100 different ways you can regulate. So you get to pick what works for you. But I will say this. Practice away from the game first. Practice away from training first. Get to know yourself. I promise you that little investment in yourself to just like what works for me to regulate. Once you do that, you can start to apply it in the game, but build the skill away from the game because trying to master the game, trying to elevate the game, and do that at the same time is a lot for one human. You can give it a go if you really want. If you're like, Janice, forget it, I'm doing that. Go for it. I'm not the boss of you. But when learning the skill, sometimes it's really nice to isolate. Do it in isolation for yourself, get to know you. So, different ways that you can regulate. And I like to drop into the body. Okay. I do a lot of yoga. It's because you get the breath work, you get to be in your body, plus you get the recovery benefits. When I started, I looked up a lot of yoga with Adriene on YouTube. It's free. She's an amazing instructor. She really brings you into your body. She really focuses on alignment and inner strength and support. Really good option there. This is not commissioned. I'm just telling you where I started and how I teach yoga now is largely influenced by Adriene. You can breathe. You can simply sit and relax the tension in your body. Relax the forehead, relax the jaw, relax the shoulders, relax the hips and the legs, the belly. You can do breath work. Box breathing is very big. Honestly, if you just learn how to breathe well, actually diaphragmatically breathe, I'd be super stoked with that. Most people breathe from their collarbones. I don't want your belly necessarily coming out, but a good breath, you can actually feel in your pelvic floor. So if you're not breathing all the way to your hips, we got room to work. That could be a whole other course and module on its own. And I say that I am a registered respiratory therapist. I know a lot about breathing. Anything that's going to drop you into your body, anything that's going to help you be more aware of how you feel in the moment will help you catch those moments where it's like, oh, I just shifted gears. I just shifted into protection. Oh, no, I just shifted into expansion. Here we go. Look out. I'm going for it, right? When you have the awareness, you get to choose, you get to be intentional. As you do this, you might notice things come up like, oh, yeah, geez, I am afraid of success. Huh, okay, cool. The more aware of it you are, the more empowered you are, you get to do something about it. You get to make that change intentionally. And I promise you that is the most powerful thing. So if the only takeaway you have, notice when the mind switches gears, notice if your nervous system switched gears at the same time. Did you become more tense, more fearful? And conversely, notice when you actually got to relax, right? A lot of us are holding way more tension than we've realized. You aren't going to ever play free under that much tension. You won't. It's just not possible. The body has its limits, the mind has its limits there. You want to get to a nervous system state where you can actually thrive, where it feels good, where your perception is broad, it's wide, it's open. You recognize the impulses and you move with them. That's your best performance. I don't care what sport you're in, I don't care what level you're at. That is your best performance every single time. So notice it. Spend the next couple of days, just notice it. Do some yoga, go for a walk. Actually disconnect. Give yourself permission if you have to go, I can do this. I'm allowed to. In fact, it's the best thing for me, and that means it's the best thing for the game, and it's the best thing for everyone around me. My teammates, my supporters, my fans, my family, my friends, my coaches. It's the best thing. I will see you on our next call where we're going to go more into the interference, the noise, and then I'm going to break down exactly how your mind works so that you can really clear up that noise. You can really cut through it and go, I don't need any of this. I know exactly what I'm doing. And that, my friends, is so much fun. So enjoy. Let me know how it goes as you notice your nervous system and your mind. Best part, top secret. Notice what shifts first. Notice what that is because the sooner you notice it, the faster you pivot out of it. And the athlete who does that is the athlete who wins. So enjoy.